You want a romantic getaway during your once-in-a-lifetime Alaska vacation, or maybe you're a local and you're looking for a staycation for a special occasion like an anniversary or a birthday. I've got you covered. Alaska is so big, it can be so hard to find what you're looking for. So I've compiled my top 5 romantic destinations that vary in affordability, luxury, rusticness, and adventure. So no matter what you're looking for, I feel confident that at least one of these will fit the bill for what you are wanting. Be sure to stay around to number 5 because that is my personal favorite. Why should you trust me? I'm Molly. I've been in Alaska since 2008. I met my husband here, got married here. I'm raising my 4 boys here. I homeschool here. I love everything Alaska. I'm passionate about sharing my knowledge of all things Alaska onto people like you so you can have an amazing experience and love the state just as much as I do. So, ready for number 1? Between Beaches in Soldovia. This one hits luxury and adventure and a little bit of rusticness all in one. Expect to pay around $600. My husband and I went there in 2010. I don't remember it being quite as expensive, but then again, I think it's getting more popular and everything is more expensive, unfortunately. The only way to get there is by a water taxi, or if you happen to have a personal boat. But there are water taxis that you can take, make arrangements ahead of time. You drive to Homer, take the water taxi from Homer to Soldovia. Can't remember exactly, but I want to say it was about 30 minutes on the water. We saw tons of otters on the way. So it's a beautiful ride. Expect to pay probably an extra about $100 per person round trip for that water taxi as well. The cool thing about Between Beaches is the name says it all. You're literally on this small spit where your cabin will be looking out one way and you'll see the bay, and then the other way of the cabin of the window, you'll be looking at the beach. So you're literally in between 2 different beaches. Now, the luxurious part of this, you have a full bed equipped with pillows and comforters and all of that. I sound really Alaskan saying that it's luxurious because there's pillows. Oh boy. So, but there is heat, there is electricity, and there is running water. If you come in the summer, summer ends mid-September, and then there is no more running water, so you can't take showers. I honestly don't really know how romantic that would be to go in the winter. If you've been, let me know how it was. So we went, I think one of the last weekends that the running water was available in early September. And we had a fantastic time. So the other part of the luxury part is there's a wood burning hot tub and sauna. So I'll show you some pictures here. We went in the sauna, you're staring at the ocean, at the beach, and then we even did a cold plunge and went in the Arctic and then went back in the sauna or back in the hot tub. It's just really romantic and relaxing. There are kayaks and stand-up paddle boards available for you to use at any time. So one of the days my husband and I did go on the bay side where we felt more comfortable and just kayaked around. So that's definitely an added amenity. We grilled every night. So inside your cabin that you choose, there's a few to choose from. There isn't necessarily any way to cook. There's a refrigerator and there's a sink, but there isn't necessarily a way to cook. So there's a grill, and that is where I remember grilling our meals, and the rest of it, I just packed things like cheese and crackers and snacks and champagne and all that fun stuff. One of my favorite memories about this place, and I absolutely cannot guarantee that this is going to happen to you or you'll be so lucky, the bioluminescent plankton were out. So we had a campfire on the beach and we took a mason jar and we're about to put the campfire out. And when we stuck the mason jar in the water lit up. It was literally glowing blue. So anywhere we touched, the water would just light up like phantasma. It was so cool. But once again, I think that was just a one-off that we happened to get really lucky with that. You can venture into town. However, just know there are no roads. So, right, you're coming there on a water taxi. You don't have a vehicle. There is, at least at the time we were there, one man who was the taxi of Soldovia. And we rode in his car into town just because we wanted to see what it was like. We knew we probably weren't going to get back to Soldovia ever again, and ate an okay meal at the bar restaurant that they had there, and got a taxi back from that same man and came back to our place. So at least we got to experience a little bit. This is a picture of one of the little markets, like grocery stores in town. I think it's pretty much the only one. So in a nutshell, I would definitely recommend Between Beaches. It's a very unique experience. It's very remote, and it was very relaxing overall. If you've done any research at all, you've probably seen that we don't really have resorts in Alaska. We don't have a lot of them. So I had to include this one just because it's so well known, and that is Alyeska Resort. We go there at least once a year. It's just a great place to get away from it all, and you have all the amenities you could need. There's multiple restaurants. There's the Nordic Spa. Now you do have to pay extra for that. I think it's like a one and done. Like I've done it once and I don't know that I necessarily need to do it again. There's what it is there's hot tubs and saunas and steam rooms, and it's all outside. Of course the saunas are inside, but you're outside to get to these different places. And then of course on top of that you can add on a massage or something like that. But the resort itself actually has a saltwater pool and hot tub. So if that's really all you care about, you can just have that, and that's included in the cost of the resort as well. Again, fees have gone up higher than I ever remember, but expect to pay anywhere in the $500 to $700 range for a room. We'll get a room that does have a mountain view. North Face is stunning any time of the year. And this is one of those resorts that no matter what time of year you come, you're not going to be disappointed. So you don't have to worry about heat or running water. Depending on what time of year you come, you're always going to have it. I should say it's in Girdwood, Alaska, so it's a convenient location if you are in the Anchorage area. I think that's why it is so popular with locals as well. And if any of you have questions about what restaurants or what to do in Girdwood in the Alyeska area, drop me a comment and I will be happy to respond. This is a real life bull moose wading in the waters outside the pond of Alyeska. So you can see the resort right there. There's a tram that takes you to the top. There's a nice restaurant at the top. You can of course just ride the tram. Certain times of the year you can hike North Face, get to the top, and then ride the tram down for free. So there's plenty to do in the area. Look at all those tourists just staring at that moose. It was so cool. Third on the list is definitely on the more rustic side, and that is Arctic Valley Cabin, more specifically the Gitz Cabin. So this is just a little bit outside of Anchorage. It's very easy to get to. There is heat in this cabin. You don't have to make a fire and heat it that way. It's heated by propane all year long. And while it can sleep up to 6 and there are pads on the bunks, you could definitely make this a romantic little couples adventure. There is no electricity, but they do have push button lights on all over the walls. So it's enough light if you happen to be going there in a time of year where it's on the darker side, because you can rent this cabin out all year long. And let me tell you, it does book out, especially the weekends. So you can book it 6 months in advance. And this is one where you need to mark your calendars. The nice part about this cabin is that it's almost drive up and you're there. I say almost because here's a video I'll show you. It's about a 1 to 2 minute walk from where you park your car to getting to the cabin. So you can see this is what it's like. It's not bad at all. So bring a backpack with your food, with your stuff, and you may have to make a couple of trips, but it's really not bad. And then the nice thing is that you just are in this valley where there's a V in between the mountains, and you've got the view of downtown Anchorage. So as the night falls, the lights start to come out in the city and you can see it. You've got the fire pit right there. 2 Adirondack chairs. You do need to bring your own way to cook. So this does again feel more rustic, adventurous in that way. You do need to bring your own cooler. Obviously there's not a refrigerator or anything like that, but you can make this romantic. Absolutely. Light some candles. And the other thing I'll say is that in the winter, there's the lodge that serves food, and recently they've added and they have beer, and I think they have wine. They have music sometimes on the weekends. So that is something that you could do too, and then not even have to worry about cooking. So you could hit the slopes, there's ski slopes, you could hit the tube park, you could snowshoe. We went in the fall and the colors were amazing. We went and picked blueberries and yeah, just enjoyed the ambiance there. We went as a family, so it wasn't just a couples thing, but I could see this being a spot that he and I would want to just go back to, and I wanted to share it with you. I forgot to mention that this is obviously one of the more affordable options too. I think it's about only $150 a night, so can't get much better than that. Okay, number 4, full transparency. This is the only one on the list I haven't been to, and it's only because I'm not a millionaire. It is the Kantishna Roadhouse Backcountry Lodge in Denali. It's at mile 90 of Denali National Park. I know that that is on so many people's bucket list, whether they live in or out of Alaska, to see. An interesting thing is that since 2021, the road access stops at mile right around 43. So you can't get further back into the park where honestly you really see the better stuff. Like, grizzlies and wolves and things like that. I mean, you may get lucky enough to see them beforehand, but it just gets better and better the further back you go. This lodge gives you this amazing access that other people can't have. Now, that being said, you may be wondering, how do I get to this lodge if the road closes at mile 43? The only way you can get there is by air. So you can see the price tags adding up in your mind. This lodge is so remote. All your food, all your meals, beverages are included. You have guided activities as options, independent activities, anything from fishing, hiking, biking, gold panning is all on the agenda. You can choose from 2 nights to, I believe, all the way up to 5 nights, maybe even more. And are we ready for the price tag? $1,600 a night per person. So that is simply the only reason why I have not been there. I can't imagine how just adventurous, luxurious, and rustic, all of it. It's got all of it. So even without having been there, I have been to Denali. I do know how stunning it is, and to have access to mile 90 back in Denali National Park, staying there with guides, with food being prepared for you, I don't think it gets much better than that. So if you've got the money, I would do it. Okay, number 5. I'm going to be honest, I almost didn't want to share this one with you because I want it to be my little secret, but that wouldn't be very honest. So I want other people to get to experience this place too. Just make sure that you save at least a couple of weekends a summer for me to be able to book it. Without further ado, it is the Alpenglow Luxury Camping in Glacier View, Alaska. So it's about 2 hours outside of Anchorage. You have views of Matanuska Glacier from certain tents. I could go on and on. Let me know if you want more details than I'm giving in this video about this specific place, because I love it so much. I took so many photos and videos, so I'm not going to share all of them with you. So luxury glamping essentially is what this is. There is no heat. There is no electricity. They're canvas tents that you zip up so you keep the bugs out. We didn't have any problems, and really comfy, warm comforters in the queen beds. I think they're all queen beds. There's quite a few different cabins to choose from. Different privacy depending on where you stay. Here's a map of the facility, so you can take a look at this and choose what might be the best tent for you. My husband and I stayed in August, and we stayed in Birch, and that was really nice because no one was walking by. We had more privacy that way. But the ones on top have views of the glacier. I think I would stay there the next time we go, which this is definitely going to be on our list to hit every summer. So why is this place so special? There's a central location where everyone can gather. There's a lawn, and then there is a kitchen that you have access to. All of the food and snacks and beverages available are by donation. There's a keg, so when you arrive, you can have a welcome drink, a welcome beverage, an Alaska beer. So that was really nice. There's cornhole, there's a fire pit, and there's all the firewood you would need. So all you got to do is just kind of serve yourself. The other nice thing is that they provide hot breakfast. with the stay. So it's between 7:30 a.m. and 9 a.m. But if you happen to miss that, you can again access that kitchen because you're actually not allowed to bring your own food into your tent. That's just to keep critters out, and you're not allowed to cook. To me, that was music to my ears. I wanted a getaway where I didn't have to pack food, plan food, and pack away to cook it. So what do? Well, there are restaurants in the area. We hit up Sheep Mountain Lodge. As you can bring snacks, you can keep them in the kitchen area. It's a full kitchen. Here's a video of what that looks like. Look, they have a little s'more bar, so we made s'mores one night. All of this is included, and they just ask for donation if you are eating more of those snacks and food. But I just couldn't believe how cute it was and how nice it was. She literally, this owner, thought of everything. And you cannot beat the price, in my opinion. I didn't add my favorite part is the hot tub. So you get to sign up for your own private hot tub time. And that thing actually gets hot. It was so lovely to be in there. And then there's community bathrooms that flush and as well as showers. So you really have everything you need. I brought my luxurious, really warm robe and I wore that when I was walking to the shower and to the hot tub, and it was absolutely perfect. So you may not be just like me. You may want more the luxurious type of a stay, but for me, the bed was so comfy, the remoteness, the view of the glacier, the amenities such as the hot tub and the breakfast being cooked, and just the relaxing time that my husband and I spent during the day. This was my idea of romance and relaxation all put into one with a really great price tag, under $150 a night. I mean, think about that. Your hot breakfast is included for two people for $150 a night. You go to a restaurant, that's going to cost $40, $50 right there. So, overall, I couldn't say enough good things about it. If you have questions, if you want a separate video with more details about the Alpenglow, let me know and I can make that happen. If you end up staying at any of these places or you have more questions, please comment, let me know. I would love for you to subscribe to my small channel. I am slowly but surely posting videos. And if you've got a next topic of what you would be curious about for your Alaska trip or your local Alaska life adventure, please let me know and I will see what I can do.